Please welcome to the stage John Kelly, CRO at Remote.
All righty. Microphone working? Microphone working? Yeah, the first announcement wasn't the right one. The second one was me, and as you can tell, I look exactly the same as I always have. How's that picture? I wish I looked like that. My wife wishes I looked like that. I had hair at one point, but that was a long time ago. I think I look a little bit more like that, right? My name is John Kelly. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer for a company called Remote, and I think what you really need to know about me and the company is this. I don't even want to tell you how long I've been doing this. We started with a little company called Oracle. Back when the company was very small, just a couple thousand employees. My employee ID number is 9844. We used to go sequential. I'm pretty sure Larry and company would be at like 8 billion, 432,000, et cetera. But that's where I grew up. And over the last 30 years, yes, 30 years, I know I look much younger than that, started 8 different companies, or been one of the founders, 6 exits or outcomes, run multi-billion-dollar divisions for Oracle, multi-billion-dollar divisions for SAP, spent some time with Larry, with a guy named Bill McDermott before he went over to ServiceNow, et cetera. Bottom line is, I love scaling businesses. I love growing businesses. I like the entrepreneurial side, and SaaStr is a great place to be. I have made, seen, participated in more fun things, mistakes, probably ways of doing things that I wouldn't do again. And I thought I'd talk about a couple of them. And maybe you will all nod your head and say, yeah, John, been there, done that. And or maybe I'll save you 1 or 2 things. The first mistake, and this is happening all the time right now. This is just massively, massively challenging. Misalignments between your different departments and teams. Now, when you think about this, right, sales and marketing and product and engineering, everybody's out there doing all these wonderful things, and they're really talented. I hate to say it, but when I started back in the 80s, there weren't as many great people around, right? Tech was a little bit less mainstream. And here's what's even worse, right? Look at all those different buckets, and then we get tool-orama. By the way, I'm an engineer by background and trade originally, not just that sales guy, but I still look at your tech stack today. So as you go around that wheel, you're going to recognize a lot of different like knobs and dials. So whether you're using Gmail or whether you're using Notion or whether you're using Slack or whatever it is, each one of those systems is a system of record. They want to be the single source of truth. You're trying to integrate all this. You got all these different teams. So it was really tough, whether it was the first 10, 15, 20 people or the first 100, to align everybody, right? The second mistake I made very, very early on, right, is over-indexing on a single metric. So venture, I've lost track, couple hundred million, I don't know, $500, $600, $700 million in venture. And my board and everybody else goes, John, let's grow. And so what you will again see is which one of the metrics, which one of the things should I focus on, where, when, why, how? So is it bookings? Is it CAC? Is it ARR? Right? Magic numbers. All of these things apply at different times. So the next thing that I did here was probably over-index on a single thing, and that also led me to the one that everybody wants to talk about all day long, which is growth. So I want to go out there. Is it bookings? Is it logos? A maniacal focus on that. And if you think about that, when you do this, what may often happen is that you forget about the real important thing. The dollar you already have. When you close a customer, protect the base, grow the base, then think net new. So you can see all these things. You're probably doing these in some form or another today. The next thing, no matter what, I laid down a technology stack that originally was very obvious. Let me pick my CRM tool, whatever it happens to be, and guess what I got up there? Those things look familiar? Very tabular, my favorite tool in the entire world. I'll go head-to-head with anybody in finance, Microsoft Excel, right? And off you go. And what's it doing? Rear view mirror, lagging indicators, nothing happening. I did not do anything modern, autonomous. Why are we here? AI. And last but not least, wow, people. What we do at Remote, I am the ICP. I should have bought the product every single time I started a company. Finding people, hiring people, paying people, anywhere in the world. And the point that I'm trying to get to here is all these questions. So as you're growing your businesses, how do we hire? How do we find top talent? How do we pay them? How do we remain compliant? How do we take care of taxes? All of those things. So 5 obvious little mistakes. And you can make them if you're a Fortune 100 company, you can make them as a small company. Have you done these? Have you seen these? Yeah, come on, people have to nod your head. Come on, we've all done some or all of these. So what should you do? So here's some of my recommendations for you. This is a personal message to each one of you. You personally need to get in the game now. Now, I'm not going to do the show of hands, but if I did, how many of you are personally using AI today outside of work? I'm talking work, you can, okay, so a lot of people are raising your hands, and that's awesome, but I don't want to shame anybody when they don't raise their hands. You need to start learning as much as you can. There are so many sources for you to go out and pick up stuff. So you can see LinkedIn Learning, Coursera, TED Talks, YouTube, etc. Get in there. Knowledge is power, and you shouldn't be afraid of this. At the end of the day, you should all be bringing AI to the business. It's not going to take your job, but I'll tell you one thing. Right? If you are a leader, if you're a person that's driving anything within your company, you will lose your job to somebody that is using AI as a tool. So make sure that happens. Second thing, pick a GPT. Pick a GPT. How many are there? In February, I read an article, there were over 83,000 different GPTs, and there's a GPT for GPTs. Like you can slice it and dice it, it doesn't matter what it is. There's a whole list of them, so you can see DALL-E, you can see, and by the way, the video, at the very beginning, the picture of me, that was obviously AI, image, all that good stuff, fun stuff. Go out and pick one, and then the other thing is, if you don't know, personalize it. Now, we standardized it at Remote with ChatGPT 4.0. Wow, that was a really edgy decision. But the bottom line is, you can see over here, I've gone out and I've personalized it. So I'm like, hey, here's my name, here's my rank, here's my serial number. Give me responses that are super short and sweet. I don't want long-winded responses. I want bulleted lists. This is how I consume information. Off you go to the races. So you need to go out and do this. If you haven't done it, do it. Pick a GPT, get engaged. This is my personal message to you, again, as an individual. This is super important. Okay? Become a prompt engineering expert. Okay? Basically, how do you ask questions? And if you go up on the screen, they're going, hey, here's when I first started using it. I need an agenda for my sales team meeting. That's a horrible question. You throw that out there and it's like, what are you going to get back? A horrible response. A better question, I would say it's still horrible. Number 2, I need an agenda for my global sales team, right? Our goal is to discuss blah, 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 blah. And you can see our fiscal year sales plan. So now I'm giving it more context, right? Prompt engineering. This is the best one. If you do anything today, if I'm going to give you any little tidbit, that. Right? So come up with some really good prompt engineering questions, but then before you submit it, go, by the way, ask me any other questions, interview me, and I'll give you some more answers, and then the response will become even more tailored. Duh, right? My entire life I'm looking for ahas and does, right? Aha moments are so few and far between. That's a duh, but you're kind of like going, no, aha, that's awesome. Thank you, John. That's probably the only good thing about my talk is that. Anyway, next thing, and this one's blue specifically, right? I call it picking from the wheel. You're a leader, right? You're a visionary. We're all embracing new tech. We're here because we love this stuff. My thing is, pick from the wheel, and I just categorize, I'm kind of thinking 4 different buckets, like CRM or tracking customer data, finance and analytics. Down on the bottom, people and talent. On the left, tools for operations. And go out and pick a tool from different parts of the wheel, from the dartboard, whatever it is, and make sure that they have AI in them. Make sure that they're doing things on an autonomous basis. You need autonomous agents. What's the difference? Those agents are out doing things for you proactively. Between you and me, everybody see Iron Man, right? Of course, I want Jarvis. Like now I don't want Jarvis in my ear talking to me all the time, especially if I'm by myself at home at night and going to sleep. But I want somebody where I can say, hey, do these things, and then they're doing the work in the background. So pick tools from there, right? I was with a company called Support Logic, wickedly cool tool. We've been doing stuff like this a long time ago, but bottom line is, what was it doing? Extracting voice of customer, looking at all sorts of things using LLMs and SLMs, and we could go out and predict escalations. That was a great tool for CRM. So get things in there. By the way, Remote's really good at it too, so on and so forth. So that's number 4. Number 5, this is obvious, right? But you're in control. You're in control of your destiny. So I can come up here and try and sell you on all sorts of tools and things that we do. I'm really talking to you as an individual about the importance of embracing Jarvis, embracing AI, etc. So up here, you get to decide what to ask. Don't let it control you. You get to go out there, and if you ask great questions because you're a great prompt engineer person, you're going to crush it. I ask for feedback all the time. It gives me good responses. Make sure there's this thing called hallucinations. If you're not familiar with it, look it up. But GPT and everything, they can get whacked. You can get bad answers, right? And down below, the biggest limitation is you. I will leave you with one simple comment, right? Right here. AI can give you visibility across all facets of your business in seconds or minutes. I got like a 32-page document on the state of EU and the economy, et cetera, in German. Piped it over to my friend Jarvis, again, my own little name for it. 30 seconds later, here's the 3 bullets, translates everything on the fly. And the other fun part about this is have fun. I did an internal company meeting, 2,000 people on the call. I took the transcript afterwards and I piped it over to ChatGPT and I said, hey, how did I do? What do you think? It came back and said, hey, John, you did a great job. These 3 things were awesome. By the way, you talk too much and your humor doesn't really land. Screw you, Jarvis, right? Bottom line is, thank you very much. Hopefully those 4, 5, or 6 tips will help, and don't make the mistakes I did. Thank you.